then my last piece of advice is to develop a box like this. Hello and welcome to our 25K subscriber celebration video. That was a long sentence. I'm Dr. Tala and this is Tala Talks NICU. And if you've ever been here before, you'll know that this channel is normally dedicated to neonatal education. We try to break down neonatal concepts to make them really easy so that you can understand them and hopefully retain them forever, and hopefully then you'll just enjoy working in the NICU more. This video today is to thank you all for subscribing and for coming back to us. And so we decided to do something a little bit different. So today we're going to go through all the essentials we need to get through a day in the NICU. Ariana and I got a lot of help in this video, so we'd really like to thank you all for your suggestions. So the way I try to start every single day is by doing a short workout before the kids wake up. I've given up trying to go to the gym for an hour 3 or 4 times a week. That's just not gonna happen at this point in my life. So moving even just a little bit in the morning just kind of maintains my sanity and makes me feel a little bit better. It's not ideal from a cardiovascular standpoint, but it really is better than nothing, and it's great for my mind. So at the bare minimum, if I don't have the energy for anything, then I'll do a few push-ups and maybe a plank and then maybe a couple of yoga poses. I've tried to get so many people in the NICU to do push-ups every day. They really are life-changing. My kids gave me these cards a couple of Christmases ago, and so sometimes I'll just set the alarm for 10 minutes and just pick a random card and do it for a minute at a time. That's great too. Sometimes, especially if I have my computer with me, I'll do a YouTube workout. So I'll type in 15-minute morning bodyweight workout or whatever. Sometimes I'll actually do a yoga workout, and my 2 favorite YouTube yoga people are Yoga with Adriene and Sarah Beth Yoga. If I'm in the mood for kind of a more weight-bearing exercise, then I'll do a video with Juice and Toya or Lindsay from Nourish Move Love. They're all really peppy and they kind of get me motivated in the morning. And while I get ready, I make coffee, which I absolutely love. Like everybody who's ever worked with me will know, coffee is probably one of my favorite things on the planet. I love caffeine for me as well as for the babies. And let me give you some great advice for working in the NICU. Get used to drinking every type of coffee. If you have a really particular coffee order, then you're probably never going to be happy working in the NICU. If you can only drink like Italian roasted espresso bean coffee, then that's going to be a problem. I can literally drink coffee from any nurse's station, no matter when it was made, and it still makes me really happy. When I make it at home, I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I'm not changing from that. So normally I drink 1 cup of coffee at home, and then I pour another cup of coffee into a cup to take to work. And unfortunately, I always forget these at work. There should be entire mountains of my coffee cups at work at the moment, but somehow there isn't. I way prefer the plastic ones because the metal ones like the Stanleys and the Yetis get way too hot for me. So it's hours before I can actually drink the coffee. So getting ready, pretty much every single day I wear scrubs, and then me and Ariana kind of differ on which shoes that we like to wear. I absolutely love my Dansko clogs. I've been wearing them forever. They give loads of support. My feet don't get tired. I can slip them on and off really easily when I'm on call, and they're really comfortable. And they actually make me a couple of inches taller. Ariana loves being nimbler. She's always running around more, so she likes her running shoes more. And the ones that she likes at the moment are the Adidas ones that we'd link to below. The other thing I recently started wearing at work, which honestly I wish I started ages ago, is compression socks, which is honestly just a really depressing recommendation, but hear me out. We all spend so much time standing around. They really do help with overall swelling. They're also supposed to decrease the symptoms and the actual development of varicose veins, so that can only be a good thing. Just make sure that if you get them, you don't get them too tight, because otherwise they just kind of cut off your circulation altogether and they really hurt. Okay, I'm going to mention 2 more things that we use in the morning. Ariana and I both kind of went back and forth whether we should even include these because it seemed really influencery, which obviously is not what we're going for at all. But we both use both of these items, so we figured that we would share them with you. Okay, as you all know, hospitals are super dry, like very low ambient humidity, and it really dries out your skin, so you cannot give it enough moisturizer. So Both Ariana and I use this facial moisturizer by CeraVe, I think it's called. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's a really thick moisturizer. It's also got SPF 30 in it, and I think it helps. I don't really know. My skin feels slightly less dry when I use it. I use absolute gallons of this stuff. So whatever you use, I would recommend some sort of facial moisturizer just so that your skin doesn't crack up. The other thing that I would recommend in the NICU is using some sort of waterproof mascara. Again, the people that have worked with me know that sometimes I cry. Normally they are happy tears, like when a graduate comes back to visit me from the NICU, or if a baby who's in septic shock kind of starts peeing or something and I get very happy, I will shed a couple of tears. And so I really do need a waterproof mascara. And this is the one that I have been using for years. It is Maybelline Lash Sensational or something. And I don't know how great it is, but I never end up with panda eyes no matter how much I've cried. So what do we actually use when we get to work? Well, in most hospitals in America, each baby in the NICU pretty much has their own stethoscope so that we're not like transmitting germs and everything. But if a baby has been rooming in with the parents, or if you're going to go and see newborns, then obviously that baby isn't going to have their own stethoscope. So we really recommend having your own stethoscope, and these baby Littmann ones are the best. I mean, they've got the drum and the bell, and you can hear everything really clearly no matter how tiny the baby is. The alternative is sometimes those babies have those like really big plasticky stethoscopes that are basically like kids stethoscopes and you can't hear anything. Or like the adult nurses will have the adult stethoscopes, and like you put it on the baby and you can hear like the heart and lungs and the belly sounds. Also not ideal. So I would recommend that if you do work in the NICU at some point to invest in your own stethoscope. I don't really take any other equipment to the NICU with me. I'll use, for example, the ophthalmoscope that's provided in the hospital to check a baby's pupils and obviously the red reflexes. Ariana is a lot more organized than that, and she has her own set of scissors as well as her own pen lights. And so we always know who to go to when we need that. Let me share something else. When I turned 41, I suddenly started finding it a lot harder to put in lines. It just kind of took me longer. And then I realized that it was my eyesight and that I needed reading glasses. And let me tell you, the first time that I put on reading glasses and did an intubation, I honestly felt like Wonder Woman. Like I honestly felt like I'd taken a close-up picture of like the whole oropharynx and the cords and everything else. And so now I have loads of reading glasses like these that I use kind of when I'm on the computer and everything. And I buy these in bulk from Amazon. I have them in every bag in my life. And then I also have a set of intubation reading glasses that have a higher refractive index. And I love how I can literally see like microscopic things at the back of the throat. So all I can say is even if you don't have vision problems, it's really great having even better than 20/20 vision when you're doing procedures. And obviously, because I work in a hospital, I cannot get enough pens. And I don't know what my problem is. I lose them all the time. I lose them. I steal other people's pens. I accuse people of stealing my pens, even though I just lost them. And I'm not sure where all the pens go. But I constantly have to buy new pens. When I go to conferences, I'm stealing them from every single table at the conference. These are the ones that I buy in bulk. They are the Amazon basic ones, and I buy boxes of them. And they're kind of gel-like, but they write easily and they're not expensive. Ariana likes her Sharpie gel pens. She's a lot more organized than me and she doesn't lose her pens. And she also frequently uses colored pens. So she uses like those zebra colored pens, and she has like a different color meaning something else as she's taking notes at the bedside or in her family calendar or whatever. She's extremely organized. I wish we could convince her to teach us how she runs her life in the unit, but unfortunately she's not interested in going on camera. And as you would expect, Ariana has everything beautifully tucked away in organized carrying cases. A lot of units have whiteboards next to each crib or isolette that you can write stuff about the baby on it. So my name is, my weight is, I like being held, my goals today are to gain weight or to poop or whatever else. And Ariana actually also carries the pens to write on the whiteboard. Personally, she carries them in her little bag. This is how organized she is. Up until I was about 30, I literally never wrote anything down. I thought I can just remember it all. And then as everything came crashing down in your 30s and kids and different jobs and everything else, I realized I have to write everything down now. So I buy so many of these books, again, in bulk, and I take them into the unit and I have lists, and really I write pretty much everything down in the books. And ever since medical school, I have highlighted absolutely everything. My mother recently told me that she was giving away my medical books. I'm not sure who wants medical books from the late 90s, but she was giving them away, and like literally every single word was highlighted, and many words were highlighted in different colors. And honestly, I think that that's just the way that I learn. I feel like if I'm reading something and I'm not carrying a highlighter, then I'm not really retaining it. So I always have multiple highlighters in my bag as well. Okay, as we've already said, hospitals are super dry. And just so that we can throw in a little bit of education into this video to make me feel a little bit more comfortable, I also want to say this is why we put micro preemies under humidity. So in the specialized incubators or the isolettes, you can increase the humidity, the ambient humidity in there. So we put babies under a humidity of like 80% to make sure that less fluid evaporates through their skin and they don't get really dehydrated and shriveled up. Anyway, I've found, just like with the moisturizing of the skin, it is almost impossible to drink enough water in the hospital. I've tried just about everything, but between running around and always being busy and the dryness, it really is never enough. I've tried setting the alarm every couple of hours to remind myself to drink. More recently, I've used a water tracking app called My Water, and they have kind of helped. They help for a bit at least. Sometimes I'll buy a whole bunch of water bottles and just have them sitting on my desk. This doesn't feel great because of all the plastic usage. So if I remember, I tried to take a water bottle in. Recently, somebody gave me one of those 32-ounce refillable water bottles, which are great. They're kind of motivating and they remind you when you have to drink more. Unfortunately, I also left that somewhere. So I need to get another one of those because honestly, that was the time in my life that I was drinking the most amount of water. And then I like to have snacks with me. As everybody who works in the hospital knows, often you just don't have enough time to eat. Even if you do have enough time to eat, sometimes you just need a snack to get you through the day. So I love having snacks with me. I love working with people that keep snacks with them. So I try to eat snacks with protein just so that I don't crash. So I'll try to eat like trail mix, or my husband loves those RX bars, but they kind of taste a bit healthy for me. I will also eat the Bevita crackers. I will never ever say no to chocolate. So my favorite chocolates are like a Snickers or a Twix or a Cadbury's. So if anybody ever wants to bring me chocolate, feel free to do that. I feel so lucky that I have ended up in the NICU. So many people have given so much blood and sweat and tears training me and educating me and teaching me to be a better neonatologist, and obviously that's still ongoing. But I really love this job. I think it is such an honor to be able to take care of little babies, and I really couldn't ever imagine doing anything else. However, sometimes we all have really bad days. Sometimes we go through really bad stretches in the unit, and it really weighs on you. I went through a period in the last year where I was just really sad about something, and it really makes you wonder, is this what you're supposed to be doing? And so I just want to talk for a minute or two about how you get out of those situations and what really helps you get through those NICU moments. And what I think is having a really good social support system. So working really well with your colleagues. Hopefully there's a group of people that you work with in the NICU who really understand what you're going through, and you can debrief with immediately after an incident has happened or just over a course of events. Exercise really helps. I really like going for walks after a day at work because it kind of just relaxes me. And what I'm really trying to do is just kind of leave the emotional drainage at work. I don't want to bring it back to my family and to myself. So you need some sort of separation. I also like to read a lot, and if anybody's interested in discussing books at all, then I can talk about books all day long. But I feel like they really get me away from what's happening in the unit. And then my last piece of advice is to develop a box like this. So in this box, I have pretty much every single note or card or message. Sometimes I've actually even printed out emails from any patient that I've had that has sent me some nice words. So lots of words of thanks. I have photos of kids that have grown up that I've taken care of. And it is so lovely going through this and just getting these pictures out and these note cards out and little presents that I've been given. it feels so good to just remind yourself that even if you've had a few bad moments, you've done a lot of good, and this is where you're supposed to be. I'll also say that I've kept notes from colleagues in here as well, because it's really nice when people around you are recognizing exactly what you're doing. So on that, make an effort to be that person for other people. If you notice somebody else in the unit is being really, really helpful, then give them praise, give them a nice note, give them a Starbucks gift card or whatever. Just acknowledge what they've done. It means so much. We all know that. And that's about it. That's pretty much how I get through my days in the NICU, which are glorious, glorious days. I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you are interested in neonatal content, then go and check out some of our other videos. And I always tell this to our viewers, if you are writing in, then please let us know where in the world you are. We love knowing where everybody is. Thank you so much for being here. We have put Amazon links below to all the products we mentioned in this video. We have only included items we use and love, but if you purchase something through the link, we may earn a commission through an affiliate program. Thank you.